Hello everybody and welcome back again to the reviews of the Aliens comics series, and we are now on issue number 8 of September of 1991. Once again it was £1.50 of the then Queen's money, now the King's money, and it's got the usual sections in it. So you've got your Alien section, and you've got now the Predator Big Game section. So it's changed from the Concrete Jungle story, which finished in last time's review of the last comic, which would have been episode 7. Concrete Jungle came to an end, and it then starts as Big Game. And there's some great art on the front of obviously a Predator warrior there. And Aliens vs Predator is still ongoing. On sale monthly, not suitable for young children. So there you go. It's got the usual in space, no one can hear you scream. Aliens. So we discussed last week about the art change. So there's nothing new there. Cover art was by Dennis Bavar. Editor, Martin Skidmore. Designed by Jane Hubbard. And promotion by Nigel McKay. Based on characters and situations from the 20th Century Fox motion picture. So you've got Aliens Earth War, episode 2. We started Earth War last week, where Ripley had returned. Predator Big Game, episode 1. And Aliens vs Predator is now on episode 8. So, the Earth War. So I don't think I have to recap it, because we've gone over all the episodes so far up until here. So if you haven't seen any of these yet, I suggest you go to the very first one and have a little look and pick it up, because it's all from there. So Ripley is hatching a plan of how to kill the aliens once and for all. As you can see in the last episode, she went back to LV-426, to the derelict, and she had then had a vision, which I believe intertwined with like the engineers' technology, which let her know that the original warning also had more information, i.e. where the xenomorph homeworld is, and in that homeworld is a overall queen who runs it all, and all the aliens are connected to her. So she thinks she now knows a way to possibly destroy the aliens for good. So in this comic it goes back again to Newt as a child. And Newt is dreaming about the time that the alien came to get her, but Ripley obviously saved her life. And she's also now having visions of the engineer's style of vision. And she dreams of the xenomorphs actually got her that day. So she still dreams of them at night, which is illustrated in the comics. There's now a group of humans who are on Earth trying to catalogue what is actually going on with the aliens on the planet and sending it back into space, hoping that someone hears. So you've got your group of humans here, and they are doing research, filming what's going on, and trying to relay the information back to Ripley, who's in space and is going to be picking it up. So Newt is talking to them. She then comes to realise that obviously there's a little girl in this group that's very similar to her and her situation, and she knows how she feels. And there is the group trying to sneakily get some images of the Queen and the Queen's victims. And there you see it's a chest burster, and the little girl actually kills the chest burster. And this makes Newt go through what she's seen and what's happened to her. Obviously in the comics, Newt and Hicks survive, as does Ripley. and as I said before, it ignores Alien 3. So there's Newt reminiscing over what's happened to her, and she's got an old picture of her family. And the next issue is the Alien Queen, because that's going to be the answer to how Ripley is going to deal with the alien Earth infestation. And once again there is another Terminator advert. Very cool advert. Okay, so now we move on to the Predator Big Game story, which is very, very, very cool. I think maybe there's some elements of Prey in this story, because I like this story. This one is set in New Mexico during the hot season on an army base. And obviously the Predator comes to hunt, and it's got the Native American sort of element in this story. So it's got a lot of the old sort of tales of the demon and stuff like that from Native American lore. So like the film Prey, wasn't it? Which was very cool. This is actually set in New Mexico. And as you can see there, some really good art. The Predators just come in. And it immediately kills a boar. It's like a start its hunt, and there's some really, really good art, guys. And that's how the Predator arrives, and it's very much like a similar story to Prey, obviously, except it's set in a time when the weaponry is differently, and it's in the future, and it's a US Army base that comes under attack. So this is due east in the North Plains Cole Army Base, and it's less than an hour of lights out. And this is a corporal called Nakai, who is an officer on the base. And this is when the Predator obviously sets its sight on the base. So this is almost lights out for the base. And the art in this is really good, guys. I remember reading this one. And it's got some rather cool write-ups in it. As you can see, the art is really good. So it all starts when Nakai and his military colleague there are on stag. They're on anti-aircraft stag, and they've both got hangover because they've had a drink the night before. And Nakai, much like Billy in Predator, has a good nose. He can smell things, and he smells something not right, something stale. Calls it a strange smell. And that's when you get the Predator vision. And that's when you see the Predator cloaked in the tree. Really good art, guys. I don't know what worries me. Sort of like sweat, I guess. Well, it's certainly not enough for that. And it's not even 8 AM yet. So they're smelling a smell which they're wondering is themselves. And he can see a shimmer. What the hell is that? And next minute it fires and blows his mate Blaine style through the chest. And he says something about Adgashi, which I believe is a demon that his grandfather said showed up as nothing more than a shimmer in the air. Sounds very familiar, doesn't it? So then he legs it to sort of get help, and that's when he finds out that he's struggling to tell them what he saw because he's worried they might think he's crazy. But then he runs into the fact that they found the Predator's ship and they're loading it onto the back of a low loader, the army. the general or colonel, whatever, sergeant major, is having a go at him about abandoning his post. But he's trying to tell him that the occupant of the craft is not a spy. Obviously they believe it's a spy, but they've told him to keep it to himself for now. And then it says, Navajos barely speak, even when asked to, Colonel. He'll keep quiet. I've no doubt about that. So, like it's saying about the craft not appearing on radar, and Lord only knows what tricks the pilot might have up his sleeve. And there you see the first troops on patrol. They've gone out to check out Nakai's story, and they find his colleague in the old flayed man position, which is cool. Again, the Predator strikes, killing his colleagues, killing the other soldiers. Next issue, the spaceship. So it moves on from there. So as you can see, guys, it's very much like the Concrete Jungle art. It's really good art, and it's well worth a look at this. You've got the adverts for the hard copies, because you can buy the hard copies of the books. And as I said before, there's a t-shirt collection as well. So we move back onto the Aliens versus Predators now. And as I explained in the last review, what's happened so far. So as I said, if you haven't seen it, go and have a little look, guys, because it does explain it. And I put pictures as well, which I'll be doing in this one as well. I'll be putting pictures of the of what I'm showing you guys as we go through. So we're back on the base again. So there's one of the hunters has appeared just as Noguchi was about to get attacked and overcome. The Predator dives in, starts killing the prey, taking them all out. You see the art is really good here, guys, look. And there's the Predator fighting. And that's Noguchi. Some good art there. We weren't the target of the invasion. We were merely bystanders caught between two opposing forces. Hulking humanoid warriors like our patient in the med centre. So as we said in the last edition, the Predator in the med centre is going to become the Predator who works with Noguchi, just like in AVP, as I've explained before. But this is more realistic because it's on a colony pretty much like LV-426 in Aliens. And the silent eyeless monsters that haunted my dreams. So the Predator is doing as best he can. He's fighting them well, but then he gets overcome. And you can see he had never faced an opponent in actual combat. So he's only ever fought other Predators. So like I say, the youths, aren't they? They're trainee warriors in AVP, aren't they? And there you go, they overcome him, pull his bio mask off and kill him. And there's Noguchi. I didn't look back. I had learned a long time ago, never align yourself with a loser. There's a difference between heroism and stupidity in the end. The warrior gained nothing but a glorious and pointless death. There you go. So he obviously got all his technology and weapons and stuff. He got overcome by too many xenomorphs. So these are the guys now who have woken up in the hive, who got grabbed early on, which I showed you pictures of and discussed in the early reviews. They're now coming to, so they're going to be infected because you can see the face hugger husks on the floor. And the Queen is asleep, but she's happy for them to go, isn't she? Because they're just going to burst, aren't they, before long. She's then called back now with Noguchi to the ranch, where there's proper full-scale fighting going on between everybody, aliens, humans, and the Yautja. So they're trying to seal themselves in there, alien style. like try and keep themselves from becoming prey. And this is where Noguchi manages to avoid being killed. Invisibility, that's how the warriors had gotten past our defences. And then again, but invisibility has little meaning to creatures with no eyes. So again, the aliens have just attacked another Yucha. Look, you see how they're just taking him out there, just jumped him, taking him out. So she's come back now to the ranchers to let them know something's going on. They're trying to get a sat link hooked up, obviously, to the company to get some help, because they've obviously had their comms taken down. And that's what's going on in the actual ranching ship, I believe it is, it looks like. Big battles going on. And for some reason, the Predators are celebrating their kills they've killed so far. These are the ranchers banding together now, trying to figure out what to do, how to fight. This Ackland fella, who at the beginning I said broke quarantine and let the and it just ignored the fact the face huggers were found near the carcasses. She's now giving him what for, Noguchi. And they're all fighting on the base. That's some good art there, guys, of the speeder bike and the Xenos. She's just chopping through them all. She's trying to get back to the complex, to where the alien, the sick alien, is being looked after by the doctor, Miriam. And that's good art there of the Predator's triangle and the vision she's being watched. And there is again is the captured Yucha who's injured. Now he's been watching what the humans have been doing for all this time, and he's actually realised that he's appreciated that they've actually helped him back to health, and he's a little disturbed by the fact that his colleagues, his other predators, his brothers, are just openly killing anything, because that's not their code, is it? They hunt, don't they? But it's become just an all-out battle, and he's realised that the humans are just caught in the middle. So he's going to do his best to help out, and that's how the AVP side of this comes into play, like the Alexa Woods and the Predator from the AVP movie. It's the very same here. So Noguchi ends up teaming up with this alien to fight. And this point of the story is the Predator copies Noguchi's voice in order to get back into the lab, but it's not actually her, it's the Predator. And in the next comic you'll see how they team up and how they work together, and how the Predator's honour, the captured Predator, his honour is being tested by the other Predators who are acting dishonourable. So as you can see, guys, those are the original model kits you used to be able to buy, and they are really good. Really, really good. I had a lot of those. I had a dropship and I had the APC one when I was younger. Obviously that's a long time ago now, so I haven't got those anymore. Next issue. The nuclear explosion may have wiped out the army base, but it didn't slow the Predator down one little bit. It simply left only one soldier to oppose it. Elsewhere in Aliens, Ripley's plan to capture and use the mother of all the alien queens begins to unfold. Finally, for the humans on Raishi, the help of the Predators looks like their only hope against the hordes of rampaging aliens, except now the Predators are only fighting each other. So there's interesting there. And you've got the old Terminator t-shirts offer there, back in the day. That's obviously not available anymore, but that probably doesn't exist anymore, that whatever that is. But yeah, you used to be able to get posters and biker t-shirts of Arnold. Very good. And there you go, Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis comic. That would have been at September, and only £1 back then. That would have been only £1. Bargain, only £1. Don't even think you can get a pack of sweets for £1 now. Okay, so thank you for tuning into this review of issue number 8 of Aliens versus Predator, Aliens and the Predator Big Game story this time. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next cool comic review. Thank you now.